bad because this happened to them, and then they're feeling ashamed, like, okay, this was a bad thing, but why did I have an orgasm? You understand? Or why did I feel good during the bad acts that was being done to me?
Okay.
There is even a case in court where a man is trying to divorce his wife because the wife had an orgasm when armed robbers raped her. And obviously nobody wants armed robbers to rape them, but if
welcome to this wonderful episode of the Otcwb Messiah, where we talk about issues pertaining to teenagers and young adults, and we also celebrate young entrepreneurs. Yes, we need to celebrate them because they're actually making us proud. I am a daily Messiah, a small girl with a big girl. Yes, a small girl with a big girl. Okay, guys, I have someone here with me. She's doing something so wonderful, and she works with a magazine. Yes, she's the editor-in-chief of the magazine, and it's about celebrating African women. You need to celebrate us. You have no choice than just celebrate us, and she has been doing something fantastic, and I'm really, really honored to have her here in person of Miss Blessing
Iyamadike.
Okay, Miss Blessing Iyamadike. Okay. Okay, Miss Blessing, thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Okay, Miss Blessing. Yes, Miss Blessing. Miss Blessing. Miss Blessing. Who is Miss Blessing?
Blessing is a young woman who is interested in changing lives of women, or talking about changing ideologies, stereotypes that affect women, in the society. That's one thing I'm passionate about, and that's one thing Urban Woman is about. We're talking about stories that affect women, African women to be precise, because in the Western world, there are a lot of media publications that already cover women, but in Africa, we're not extensively covering issues that affect women. So that's basically what Urban Woman magazine is about.
Okay, Miss Blessing, you just told us about Urban Woman. Like, who is Miss Blessing? I want to know you. I don't know you. I want to know you. I want them to know you.
Okay. So, Miss Blessing is, like I said, I'm a young lady. I'm obviously not old. I'm still a student of psychology, University of Lagos.
Oh, Jesus. No, please shout, let them hear. University of what?
University of Lagos.
Shout. Okay.
So I'm a final year student of psychology, University of Lagos. What else would I have to say about myself? Okay, my passion includes, aside Urban Woman, I also love to do content marketing for people.
Okay.
So on the side, aside Urban Woman, I also do a lot of content PR. I write covers and copies and copywriting, content writing, SEO writing, those kind of things. So that's like my side hustle. You understand? But Urban Woman is like my main thing. I started because like I explained before, my flair for women and African women, exactly. Yeah, so basically that's what I am about.
I give you respect for that. Yeah. So, Miss Blessing, what kind of woman reads Urban magazine?
What kind of woman reads Urban magazine? So, okay, our audience is the young lady between the ages of 18 to 35. Okay. She's the aspiring, how will I put it now? The upcoming rich people. Quotes. So yeah, I want to live a social life. I want to meet celebrities. I want to have fun. I want to get married quickly. I want to know what's happening in society. That's my audience. Those girls, those young ladies outside who are just coming out of their mothers' houses or their parents' houses and really don't know what society has in store for them. So we're covering from that age range to the people who have already been in society. That's the women who have already been there and are facing issues that are caused by these stereotypes, and then they are like struggling with how to move forward from these things. From issues like women not being able to get particular jobs because they are women not being able to get particular contracts because they haven't slept with somebody. Those kind of things are issues that we talk about in Urban Women Magazine, and those kind of issues are issues that, because we want to, now if you're looking at it, it's like 2 age groups here, so we want to enlighten the young teenager that this is what's outside and this is our ways you can actually prevent it now, and also talk to the person who is already in the situation and saying, okay, all hope is not lost, this is how you can prevent this from happening to you.
Okay, thank you. So what is it like to be an editor-in-chief of a Urban Women Magazine?
It's a very stressful job, especially when you're used to it.
Yes.
You know, so it's really stressful. You have to, you know, organize, or you have to work with a team. You have to work with a team.
Yes, you have to balance.
Exactly.
You have to balance everything together.
You have to work with a team to produce the magazine. You have to gather writers, you know, who are going to curate content, basically, you know, for the magazine, for every edition I release. And it's not just about the editions now, it's about the blog also, you understand, because there is the edition that's released every 3 months, and then there is the website that has articles going up every day, you understand. So it's not just about that. It's not just about the magazine itself, it's also about the website magazine. So you have to liaise with your team, you have to liaise with writers. It's not every time you get content that you want to put up, and then you have to pay for this content. Yes, I was
even about asking you that. You know, you talked about gathering of information, like from multiple sources and everything. Like, how do you get to know the information that are actually relevant?
Okay, yeah, it's very, very easy. I mean, you talk to people every day. I talk to people every day.
Okay.
From interacting with you, I may already have like 1 or 2 topics that I want to write about on the magazine, or that I want my writers to write about. So that's as easy as it goes. Like, you know, from interacting with somebody, I could be interacting with the next person, and then from something he says, I'm already thinking, okay, this is something that affects women. How about we write about it? That is basically what. And for instance, we cover issues that affect women, like deep issues that affect women. Our first edition, we had the topic we had on our first edition was what is African feminism. That was our editorial, you know. And the second edition,
so can you tell me about that?
Okay. Basically, African feminism. What's African feminism? The editorial was a writer who came on to talk about her own experiences growing up as a female in Africa, you understand, and what African feminism has come to mean to her, because Western feminism is quite different from African feminism, if you look at it very well. What we are struggling for in Africa, most of the Western people have moved past that. Feminism in the Western world has moved past that. So what we're struggling for is not necessarily what they're struggling for, you understand. So that is what African feminism was about. And then in the second edition, we had can you feel pleasure while being sexually assaulted? Now, there are a lot of girls who have been raped and felt pleasure while being raped, or had an orgasm after the rape, and begin to feel bad because this happened to them, and then they're feeling ashamed, like, okay, this was a bad thing, but why did I have an orgasm? You understand? Or why did I feel good during the bad acts that was being done to me? Okay. There is even a case in courts where a man is trying to divorce his wife because the wife had an orgasm when Amrobas raped her. And, you know, obviously nobody wants Amrobas to rape them, but it's your body responding, like, okay.
And it was not even her fault. It was not
exactly. So you have to, and I could understand this. I remember when I was not always a psychology student. I used to be a medical student. So I got withdrawn from med school. So when I was in med school, I remember there was an issue, and we asked the physiology lecturer, my first time in 200 level, and we asked him that, is it possible to feel pleasure while being sexually assaulted? And he said yes, because it's your body who is responding to it, and that this is a doctor who is giving you reason why a woman can feel pleasure. It's like the Chinese. In the days of old, they want to punish you and they start tickling you. You don't want to laugh, but you're laughing. And it's definitely going to be painful, you know. So it's like a painful form of, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So basically that's it. And on the third edition, we had organized religion is not, there's a way we put it. Organized religion and women's liberation don't mix, or don't, something like that, yeah. So we talked about how organized religion, both Christianity, Islamic religion, is not allowing women's liberation to actually be in full force. For instance, I'm going to give you petty issues, and I'm going to give you like the main issues. Okay. So the petty issue on the side is, we talked about how you don't have a female pope, you don't have a female imam. Now, while these issues look like they are really petty and everything, but if you look at it, most women, or women in most homes, are the ones who channel or who who champion spirituality.
Yeah.
So now, if you don't have a female to aspire to in your Christian life or in your religious life, that puts a bar on your spiritual aspirations already. Now, many people don't look at it that way. You understand? So you don't have a female to aspire to in the Christendom. Most pastor misses that you have around become pastor misses because their husbands are pastors.
Well, we
You understand?
still have some that their husbands are not.
Oh yeah, you still have
pastors,
some, but most of them,
Yes.
like most of them actually. So that puts a bar on your spirituality already. Now let's say that is petty. Let us say that is not even what we should be fighting for. Now the main issues like how you're not allowed to embrace your sexuality as a woman, because you're looked upon as, for instance, a man, your husband, domestic violence occurs in your family, you want to leave your husband, or your husband cheats and you want to leave him, and then your church members are the ones saying that you shouldn't leave because what God has joined together, let nobody put us under, and they're not really putting into consideration the mental
what you're going through
and the mental problems that she like. I had a boyfriend who we broke up, and then I felt like we had already broken up. I was supposed to be moving on, and then this boy kissed his new girlfriend in front of me. Do you know? Anytime I see that boy, I see him and I see the girl he kissed that night. Like, so I can imagine a woman who probably walked in on her husband having sex with somebody else, and then you ask her to stay in the house. I don't know, but when you say when you now say all these women are committing murder and all of that, I'm not trying to make an excuse for them, but like you don't put into consideration the mental issues that this woman will face when she's in that family or when she's in that house, sitting down with a man who cheated on her, or who, especially when you have,
she won't be able to forgive,
even if she has forgiven him,
like,
she won't. Like, it's hard for you to move on. Like, you keep imagining it. Like, I don't know how to describe it,
and
but
there'll be trust issues.
There'll be trust issues going from there. You become a hateful person. The marriage can never be as it was before, and all of that. And so you have the church which says, no, you have to forgive him, you have to stay, and all of that. But if you're the one who cheats, nobody's going to be on your side. Nobody's going to advise that man that it was a mistake. And the only way that man is going to stay with you is if he really loves you. You understand? And if you guys have been through a lot together, if he really feels that maybe it was his fault, or maybe it was a mistake somehow, that kind of thing. But besides that, like, nobody in any church is going to say, oh my God, you cheated your husband, please allow her. You never can. All these things happen, and the society is somehow, and all of that. Nobody's going to do that for you. So these are issues that people need to discuss. Women are not allowed to embrace their sexuality, but men are allowed to flaunt their sexuality in the air. Like, if I don't know, okay, look at the issue of virginity. I was in church with my mom one day, and then this pastor just kept talking about virginity, and I'm like, mommy, I don't have a problem with the fact that he's talking about virginity now, but don't talk about virginity to just the girls, because I don't have sex with myself. Like, I mean, I need a man to have sex with me, yeah? So you cannot talk about virginity to the girl, and then the girl now prizes sex so high, and then meets a guy who does not place any importance on sex.
True.
You understand? And then that brings an imbalance, and then you're having a relationship where somebody is valuing something much more than the other. It's bound to not work. Or you're having a family where somebody values marriage more than the other person values marriage. How do you want to build a good family?
Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you something. I wanted to ask you why urban woman. If you should notice, almost every focus is on the girl child, foundations, the girl child. So who is going to help the guys?
Okay, the thing is,
sorry, because at times they feel pain. Instead of them to cry, they won't be able to cry. They'll be like, "You're a guy, be strong, don't cry." Like, nobody is teaching them do this. Nobody is telling them just cry, just express yourself. Focus is just on the girl child. So now, since urban women is focusing on the African women and everything, so now, who is going to help the boy child?
Now the thing is that I feel that for the women, there is already a situation on the ground. So if you're going to be realistic, we need to actually help those people who are in that situation first, before you now think of educating the people who are causing the situation, or the society itself. And if you notice, most of the time, most foundations that are for women and for girl children and everything, they don't do it in isolation. They don't do it just only girls. Yes, they also try to spread out information and say there's a lot of information right now about how guys should behave or how guys should treat the woman, and it stems from sources like us, because when you're talking about how a woman is feeling in this kind of situation, you're not doing it in isolation. You're also talking about the guy and how he should see it from so and so angle. There was something that happened recently on Twitter that went viral about a girl who said a guy sexually assaulted her or coerced her into having sex. And I told a friend that I can understand what that girl was saying, even if everybody, and this is not just me, I've asked a lot of ladies and they all said they could understand what happened there. Because, and now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I was talking to the guy about what happened to this girl, and I was also educating him about how he should see the situation.
Okay.
That the girl in question would have sex with you because she's afraid that you would rape her. This is somebody who has been raped twice. You understand? So like, it was not just about the girl now. It was also about the guy. I'm also telling this guy or my friend who is a guy that, okay, look at the situation from this angle. That is already educating him. So when you're doing something like this, when you're doing urban woman, and it's not just about the women, also you're also educating the men, because when you have this information out there, you understand, you know that, like, okay, women, this is the way women see it. This is the way, I heard that this is the way women see it, or I heard that this is the way she's looking at it from this particular angle. Therefore, I am not going to do this. You understand? So it's not just in isolation. It's not just about the woman at the end of the day.
Okay, so what kind of experience do you get when materials are submitted for publication?
How do you mean?
You know, the experience when you are reading, evaluating, and trying to...
It's a very tiring process. I said it was. Like, when I wanted to start Urban Woman magazine, I did not think that I was going to actually do the admin part of the work. I just wanted to write articles and just push stuff for women and just be a happy child. And then I have to wake up in the morning and then check my emails. As if it's not enough, I have to go and check my statistics on my website. I have to go and check what's happening on some links are broken. I have to go and repair those links. I have to go and do this. I have to go and I'm like, what's all this? This is not what I bargained for. So that issue of having to read articles, it's a very tiring process. It's annoying. I cannot even.
But it's fun.
Is it fun? I like to write articles. I like women to read the articles that I write. Okay, you understand? But to now sit, because when you're sitting down and reading people's articles, the reason why it's not always fun is you see a lot of issues, a lot of grammatical errors, there's some articles nowadays I don't even read them. I just send them to my editor to edit. Okay. So just edit the article, read it, tell me whether this thing is good for publication. If it's not good, just let me know. I'll just tell the person, because it's too much. Yeah, like you can be receiving like, I don't know how many articles in a week, and then you have to sit down and read each of them. No, it's not a fun process. I have other things to do.
But actually, you tend to learn more.
Yes, it exposes you to new ways people think.
Okay.
Yeah, but then like there are other ways to learn how people think. Yeah. So I think the issue is if people can actually pay more attention to their writing. There are a lot of people who walk up to me and say they're writers, they're good writers. I write well. I write. And I'm like, oh, you send me your publication and I cannot even read past the first line.
Okay.
Like, because it is full of grammatical errors. Because it has structural errors, grammatical errors, punctuation. Oh my god, no. What's all this?
Okay, so like, where do you see Urban Woman in 5 years' time?
I see us covering a lot of issues affecting women on a African scale. Like right now, yes, we say we are African, but we are focusing on Nigeria because we just started last year. So in the next 5 years, we'll be covering issues in Zimbabwe, Seychelles.
Just remember us,
you know.
Okay, guys, Miss Blessing. Oh my God. When am I going to sleep? No, don't forget. Okay, guys, now we have come to the end of this one.
Oh, have we?
Yes. Do you have any other thing to say? Do you want to ask me any questions?
No, I don't actually. You know, you mentioned something about acrimony the first time.
Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry, guys. Seriously. Okay, now let's talk about acrimony.
Okay.
Wait, just wait. Do you blame anyone?
Do I blame anyone?
No, just tell me yes or no.
It's not a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Okay, number one, I feel like the movie is a conversation starter. You know, I don't think Tyler Perry was going for a definite answer at the end. You know, I think he was looking for a conversation starter amongst people.
Seriously.
Then, coming to the blame part, I'd like us to follow this like movie from the beginning, from the very beginning. So, like, what happened? Now, this lady, if this man had been very observant, this lady had anger issues already. You understand? So she had anger issues. Looking at it from the very beginning, where she hit her car on that truck,
Yes.
she had anger issues. And if you saw when she was going through that what do you call it, treatment or therapy, the counselor or the psychologist mentioned the personality disorder, and said, have you heard of this personality disorder, which I think was her problem. So if that had been discovered on time, like from the very beginning, if that man had said, okay, yes, I did this, it was wrong, but did that warrant like you doing this magnitude of, and if you really loved her, okay, let's seek help for you.
Let's go through this
Let's
together.
go, because anger is, there was a time when my anger issues were terrible. Oh my God, you understand? But then I had to. Most of the time in that movie, that lady said, "You know me. You know when I get angry," and I think that was an issue already. So I feel like if that man had, or if her sisters who knew about it had actually taken out time to work on that anger, it would not have. She would have been able to move past everything the man had done ASAP. And I feel like the man was a user. Yes. And I say he was a user because you can't treat somebody like that who has done so much for you, and no matter how you're seeing it from your own perspective, you have to look at how she's seeing it from her own perspective.
Yes, you have to consider.
You are going through, and that's the thing, people see things different ways. If you have something like, look at, he was in his truck and then somebody called him up for something. To me, you have disappointed, you have
I'm not telling you not to go there. Like, just call someone. I'm going out.
To me, you have
this.
So to me, you have disappointed me. You have broken my feelings. You're seeing somebody else, but to you haven't done anything wrong. Because truly, you haven't done anything wrong. Do you understand? But there are different sides to it. You get? So I feel that number one, the man used her from the very beginning. He knew, oh, this woman has this to offer, therefore I'm going to use it. But he fell in love with her because, he eventually loved her because there was no, if you're living with somebody for that long, 20 years, you just have to love the person. And the person is doing all these things for you. You will just love the person.
Do you know what actually annoyed me? I was never saying you should not work or you should not try anything you want to do, but please just look for something else.
But I think 20 years was too long.
Just look for something else. Just look for something else to do.
I'm not going to
because
lie
after
to
she
you.
divorced him, that he started.
No. Actually, no. It was not after she divorced him that he started looking for. When he started washing. The jobs he was doing, those was very consequential. He needed to survive. But the most important thing was his research that he has been working on.
Yes, I know.
Now the question is, can you as a woman stay with somebody for 20 years while their research is, I can't. Because it takes a lot of energy and passion and love. And frankly, I'm not sure that I have enough of that inside of me for myself. To look up the next person. Okay. To be very honest. But she went into it with the hope that this man is going to hit this thing, is going to blow one day, they will share the proceeds. And then I have a problem with the fact that he eventually blew after they are divorced. And then you're taking your new wife to everywhere you promised the old one.
And she posted everything.
And
oh my
everything.
God.
I don't know the way guys see these things.
Do you know what someone told me? Someone told me that
you're preparing
she would have killed the lady first. They killed the man.
I feel like she had anger issues. That one, they needed to have sorted it out. If she had sorted out her anger issues,
should have
moved on. Maybe they gave you $10 million.
Collect the money.
Maybe they give you $10 million and
I actually said this. Someone was saying that.
I've moved on. $10 million has.
Fine, I know I can't give birth again. Please, I'll go and adopt. I'll enjoy my life.
But it's easy to say, Sha. You're not in the situation. Yes. But I don't think that it should warrant so much anger and so much pain. The lesson that you're killing somebody and then you are dying in the process. What?
Guys, we need to go now. Fine. I'm not sweet. You should go and sweet. Okay, yes, you should go and sweet now. After that. Everyone's always talking about it. Otcwb. I'm just to relax. Okay, guys, you need to talk to me. Hademi Rajoy and IG and on the couch style. And you guys are watching, please don't just watch. Don't forget to like. Oh my God, I don't want to